Hello friends, welcome back Attack. This is going to be our top 15 list for free online mobile games. Yeah, I know there's a lot of trash in the mobile app market, it's true, but we ruffled through it and we found a couple of hidden gems, and maybe some not so hidden, but we really want to show these games off, and it is a top 15 list instead of 10 because we don't want any one game to really shine out above the rest. Really, this list is going to show off these individual games that are just really great in consideration to their genre. So yeah, we're going to have some racing games, some fighting games, some strategy games, board games, MMO games, all that. We're going to show you the best of those genres as long as it is free, as long as it's online and a mobile game. So hopefully you're gonna have some fun with these games, get some friends to jump in there with you, and let's go ahead and start the list. Okay, so starting our little list countdown thing, let's talk about, well, trivia games. Here we have Quiz Up, the biggest trivia game in the world. What I think is really cool is that it's very social, and also the fact that it plays in real time. You can play against friends in real time, and that's definitely just huge, because it could have been asynchronous, could have been an asynchronous quiz game, but no, you can play in real time, and I just greatly, deeply appreciate that. Now here's a unique genre that's really kind of been just a mobile thing, and that's monster capture. Yes, you can relate it to Pokemon, but really mobile devices, like they kind of go with like a card collecting kind of a sense, but they're not competitive. It's really more PvE oriented. Anyways, it's a weird genre, and I think the top of the list of this weird genre is a game called Moonrise. It's very similar to Pokemon, but take out that single-player experience, focus it on PvP, and instantly, even just with that fact, I think it's better than all the others in the genre out of the gate. It's got great graphics, you can even play it on your desktop and cross-platform with your tablets, but truly, you're not going to get this kind of experience from any other card-collecting RPG weirdness that is monster capturing games. Now for the genre of fighting, which only a couple years ago would have been completely laughable, we have Marvel Contest of Champions. Not only does this offer a very interesting cast of characters to fight with because, well, it is Marvel, but they also bring together a really interesting set of mechanics, which actually work very well with tablets, with phones. If you join into this game, you're going to find that it actually has a very hardcore following and a competitive atmosphere. So for the genre of puzzle, which there are so many out there, it's just even hard to comprehend, we picked out the most original looking and mechanically, and that's going to be Hero Forge. This is a battle puzzler, as in you can actually fight 1v1 somebody with your own solving of your puzzle. And what's really cool about this game is that it kind of has like a mask around it. You actually have really cartoony and colorful graphics here. We'll have like these warriors and mages duking it out as you yourself are solving these puzzles. Now in the genre for sport, we got Super Stickman Golf number 2. This game took me by surprise. Growing up in Myrtle Beach, I am a huge fan of putt-putt and crazy golf and all that sort of fun, silly, casual golfing kind of sportiness stuffs. Anyways, bring that to mobile in a really colorful package, and you got Super Stickman Golf 2, and it is a really fun game, pure and simple. It's also a great single-player game with lots of challenges. There is a ton of wackiness to be experienced here, not just alone, but with your friends. Now for the genre of arcade, which I know umbrellas almost every single game on mobile devices, but really, how many arcade online mobile games are there? Actually not too many that do it great, and one of those games is Castle Storm. Also, for those interested, it's not just on mobile devices. You can play it on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation Vita, PlayStation 3, Microsoft Windows, Wii U, iOS, Xbox 360. I think you guys get it. It's on a lot of different platforms. Think a competitive Angry Birds in a medieval setting that not only allows you to build castles and destroy castles, but you can also play as knights on the ground, foot soldiers, and storm the castles that way. Yeah, a lot of arcade games are really one-dimensional, but this is not one of them. And now for the genre of shooter, which is, okay, very questionable in itself being mobile, but anyways, enough of that. The best one's probably going to be Nova 3 Freedom Edition. It looks great. It's probably the most graphically intensive game on mobile devices, especially being first-person shooter. It does have that single-player experience, but we're here for the online component, which is kind of unrivaled. You got 12-player battles in up to 7 multiplayer modes. You got, like, capture the point, free-for-all, capture the flag, on 7 different maps. The vehicles, all sorts of crazy guns. And overall, this is probably one game that reaches as close as AAA as it possibly could for mobile devices. For racing, we have Asphalt 8, which is kind of like the best looking racer out there. It's also incredibly action-packed, reminds me a lot of older Burnouts. Overall, it's just so high intensity that you wouldn't expect this to be on mobile devices, but it freaking is. It's incredibly exciting, and the controls, everything about it, all in all, work very well with mobile, especially if you have a tablet and you can really get that big screen, so that or as big a screen as you can for a mobile device, so that you can see the awesome graphics and have all that high octane like energy pouring into your eyeballs. And next up on the list with the genre board game, we have Words with Friends. Personally, I believe it is far superior to its Scrabble $8 counterpart. Words with Friends also does commercials very lightly, leniently as well. So overall, the free app is actually very, I guess, rewarding in itself. You play with lots of friends at multiple times, you have lots of games going on, and overall, you get that really fun Scrabble-esque experience with whoever you want. Now, admittedly, there's a lot of other board games out there, but for free? Yeah, it's kind of questionable, especially with how they do advertisements. Words with Friends really gives you that true interaction with your friends or with random people that you want in an online game. But true, it is asynchronous gameplay, but I honestly don't think that any other game does asynchronous gameplay as well as with Words with Friends. Now, this is going to be the simulation genre, which is kind of unheard of on mobile devices, being that they generally lack enough power, but World of Tanks is something like a simulation, but it's also kind of arcade. It's kind of in between there, and we got World of Tanks Blitz. World of Tanks is massively successful. It is a competitive tank vehicle combat game that has a huge amount of depth and grind. So if you're looking for a game to really sink some time into, and to be rewarding, there's not too many other competitive multiplayer games on mobile devices that's going to give you that sort of satisfaction. And for the strategy genre, we have Clash of Clans, and no other game does it like Clash of Clans. Yes, we have tons of mimicry, and we do have Game of War as well as this close number 2 to Clash of Clans, but in the end, Clash of Clans has really just done something that no other game has done before in the genre. That's desktop, that's browser, that's tablet, that's whatever. Clash of Clans is the best MMORTS from a game design perspective. Now, for the action RPG genre, which is really prevalent on mobile devices, this one is going to have to go to Spirit Lords, because out of the box, as soon as you get the game, you can do co-op. So not only is it really polished, not only is it just a good game in its own as a single-player game, but it truly is a good online game that you have access to as soon as it begins, and it's actually deep and involved as the game goes on. Spirit Lords, unlike other action RPGs, is a true online action RPG, and it also just happens to be freaking amazing. Alright, now so for number 3 we have collecting card game, and there's actually a good number of them on mobile devices, but this one hands down absolutely goes to Hearthstone. Hearthstone is like the best card collecting game right now. Most popular, absolutely, is steamrolling the competition tremendously. And add on to the fact that it's also one of the very few games that have direct live PvP competition. Hearthstone is fantastic. It's essentially a carbon copy of its desktop game, but it's, well, on mobile devices, and it works perfectly fine with that. Hearthstone is one of the best games out there, and you can play it for free, no ads or anything, on your tablets. Next up on the list for a mobile device MOBA, it's gotta be Vainglory. I really don't see any other MOBA that really can compete with the content, with the polish, with the amount of awesomeness that Vainglory is. Like, legitimately, I think it even contests with some desktop MOBA. It truly is a full MOBA experience that is played with mobile devices. Its controls actually completely work, and maybe, in fact, it might be a little bit controversial, but I think it's actually very mechanical despite the touch, or maybe even, in fact, because of the touchscreen controls. Vainglory has a full item shop. It's got full character kits. It's got full graphics. Legitimately, this is a true MOBA that you just happen to play on your tablet. And the last game I want to talk about is Albion Online, which is going to be a sandbox MMO, which can be played on PC, but also cross-platform with mobile devices. Graphically, mechanically, it's a little bit reminiscent to RuneScape, but really it's going to focus on that PvP almost entirely. With Albion Online, you have a social-driven experience that you're really not going to get anywhere else, especially on mobile games. You're going to be able to raise kingdoms, literally like build up from either tents or all the way up to castles, form guilds, and destroy other guilds. Don't be fooled by the color and character. This game is completely anti-Care Bear. It is hardcore. And if you're looking for a legitimately original MMO, especially considering that it's going to be on mobile devices, then you're going to want to keep an eye out for Albion Online. So that was all 15 games. I'm sure that there are some in some different genres that we haven't even thought of that are actually really good too, so please tell us about that in the comments below. And if you want to argue about some of these listings, then go ahead and do that too, why not? Like and subscribe so that you can stay notified about all these cool videos that we're making, guys. And please come back attack. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Welcome back, Attack. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 free-to-play MMOs for this year, for 2015, and I think across all the genres for free-to-plays, we've seen so much innovation in MOBAs, in MMOs, in like card games. We've seen so many new things this past year, and hopefully, maybe, probably so, 2015 is going to be just as exciting.